I went from Park Avenue to Park Bench. I was emotionally, financially, and spiritually bankrupt. I lost everything. I even almost lost my life. I had my dream job in the financial industry as a stockbroker. I was 25 years old, making 7 figures a year. I thought I was on top of the world. I was putting in late nights one night at the office, and someone approached me and they said to me, "Hey Joe, you think you're a top producer now? Take this little round pill and you're gonna produce even more." I was already smoking weed, drinking, or having some kind of mood altering substance in my body every single day for the past 10 years at this point. So I said, why not? And that's when I got introduced to opiates. And that's when my battle with substance abuse took off to the next level. My life went dark and became completely unmanageable. I was risking my life every single day. I overdosed twice. The last time, it took 6 cans of Narcan to bring me back to life. 6 fucking cans of Narcan. And that same night, I'm laying in the hospital bed. I wake up, I pull the EKG electrodes off my body, leave the hospital against medical advice, and then when I get outside, I'm shivering, looking like a crackhead, like Pookie from New Jack City. And the first thing I do, I go call the dealer again to go get high. Wow. Talk about feeling powerless over drugs and alcohol. Then came a weekend that changed my life forever. I attended an event with my sister. At that event, something clicked. I looked at my sister, she looked at me, and we both started crying. She knew exactly what I was going to say. And then the words came out. The words my family was waiting to hear for years. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm a shell of my true self. I was tired of writing my obituary. I wanted to begin creating my legacy. After that, I made the decision to achieve sobriety. My story is not unique. Many people struggle with vices that create character defects. Mine was drugs and alcohol. Yours might be gambling, sex, shopping, overeating, whatever that vice is. It interferes with us being our true self by having us isolate, not being fully present. It creates character defects. For some, life may become unmanageable. Some lack motivation in their self-esteem. I promise you, you don't have to live like that anymore. There's a better way to live life. It took me nearly a decade to regain control of the steering wheel in my life. Over the years, I've hired a lot of coaches and I've done a lot of self-help programs. Some have helped, some have not worked. However, I put together some powerful strategies that have helped me build a foundation to create my own destiny. I believe once we overcome those vices and character defects, that's when we can create our own destiny. I used to live an unmanageable life where I lacked direction, didn't finish things that I started. I couldn't get out of my own way. Now, I live an incredible life where I know the direction I'm going, I know what my goals are, and when I start something, I finish it, and I shatter those goals because I have an action plan in place and take enormous action, which has helped me create wealth financially, emotionally, and spiritually. I don't want you to go through the same struggles I did. So what I'm going to do for you over the next 15 minutes is I'm going to explain to you how to build perseverance muscle. So let's get into it and discuss how you grow from perseverance. There are times in life where you feel discouraged or defeated. It may feel like you got hit with a ton of bricks when life delivers a blow that knocks you to your knees. The feeling of despair and hopelessness may consume your life as you wonder if you're ever going to be able to bounce back to the way things were prior to this devastating blow occurring. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can overcome this adversity. This is the time when it's crucial to build that perseverance muscle, overcome these obstacles in your life. And when you do that, that's when you're going to realize those are the catalysts that helped you change your life. Throughout our lives, we're going to be thrown curveballs. Learning how to hit them out of the park and pushing through the pain and feelings of hopelessness to overcome these adversities, that's how we grow and learn. It shapes us and reveals who we truly are. When you're feeling discouraged, don't just give up, man. Use these 3 following strategies for building perseverance muscle. The first, face your fears rather than running from them. When you run from your fears, eventually they always come back to bite you in the ass. For some people, fear stands for fuck everything and run. You want to change that to face everything and reforge. Don't let fear dictate everything and be your steering wheel in life. You want to be in the driver's seat, steering the wheel to create your own destiny. Fear is huge. Fear is everywhere. And yet fear can be overcome and controlled. It can even be a powerful learning experience. The best way to overcome that fear is to face it head on. And that's when you achieve empowerment, clarity, and freedom. When I was out there risking my life getting high, I had a fear of what life would be like without drugs. I couldn't imagine life without having some kind of mind-altering substance in my body every single day. But it wasn't until I faced that fear head on and chose to get help on overcoming my demons, that's when I was able to achieve sobriety and have that paradigm shift. So now, rather than feeling powerless over drugs and alcohol, out there chasing some bullshit high, now I gain power from prayer and meditation every single day, which is so much more empowering than chasing a high that doesn't even exist. Facing that fear has changed my life forever, and my gratitude is through the roof for that. Remember, you're not defined by your fear. It doesn't define your life. Keep that in mind, and it's going to help you recall successful times to help you dig in, find your resilience, your confidence, and get that swag back. Change the way you look at fear. Look at it as an opportunity to grow, because when you overcome obstacles such as fear, you grow through that learning lesson, and that can and will have an amazing impact on your life. The second strategy for perseverance, you gotta begin to take healthy risks. When you learn to take healthy risks, you raise the probability of being able to handle difficult situations throughout your life. When you learn to adapt and understand what steps are necessary to keep moving yourself in the right direction, that's when you grow as a person and as a leader. A lot of people have a fear of failing, and that stops them from taking healthy risks. Perseverance comes from failure and getting back up. Without failure, you won't build perseverance muscle, and you won't be able to overcome adversity. And overcoming adversity, that reveals character, man. Remember, higher risk, higher reward. Breaking the pattern of substance abuse that ran deep in my family's history was a healthy risk that I took. Losing 40 pounds, eating healthy, and changing my lifestyle was another healthy risk that I took. For both of those, another healthy risk was building a support network. If you want to persevere in life, building a support network is an absolute must. Finding that within family, friends, co-workers, that's a great way to start. Find people who have gone through similar situations to persevere and find out what they did to overcome adversity. When you don't connect with people, you don't grow. You cap your potential. You reach your fullest potential through connecting with other people who are a few steps ahead of you. Growing up, my family had a saying which was, "Dime con quién andas y te digo quién eres." I never really paid attention to what that meant till later on in life. It means, tell me who you walk with, and I'm going to tell you who you are. You want to be around people who will inspire you and challenge you to go out of your comfort zone. When you surround yourself with people who will always inspire you, guess what? You're always going to be inspired to do more with your life. Having a support group is absolutely vital. When I achieved sobriety, I had to build a support group. I had to go to places and find people who were sober and connected with them and found out what steps they took to get sober and stay sober. When I built my business back to a multi-million-dollar business, I started networking with other people in my industry who were multi-millionaires and connecting with them and found out what steps they took to build their business to a multi-million-dollar business. I also had to go out in both networks and find out what those people's struggles were so I could learn from their struggles and their mistakes. Start by going to events and places you know people who have what you want, hang out. And if you want it bad enough, dig deep and play all out at these places. Ask as many questions as possible. That's how we grow. The last strategy for building perseverance, you gotta remember your why. Until you know for sure what it is exactly that you want, you won't be able to have conviction and the persistence to chase it. Without having the persistence and conviction to chase it, you're going to end up running around in circles, chasing your tail, and then right back where you are, facing those same exact adversities. Come on, man. Stop embarrassing yourself. Taking personal inventory can help you identify where and how you want to grow tomorrow. It's a great tool for self-assessment and for personal growth. It means you have to dig deep and peel that onion back to take stock of what makes you. From personalities to interests, it really defines you as a person. Make a list of your attributes and make a list of the areas that you could use improvements. Find ways to go out of your comfort zone and learn new skills. Learning is so powerful and doesn't end when you're done with school. Learning is a lifelong experience. You think Michael Jordan didn't know for sure what he wanted before winning those 6 NBA titles? You don't get beat down the way he did by the Pistons. Come back after hiring a personal coach, bulk up, and keep in mind, that time in the NBA, players weren't really working out to gain muscle. And then for him to come back and win 6 NBA championships without losing one, not to mention the man retired after 3 of those to go play baseball 2 years away from the NBA before coming back to win the other 3 more back to back to back. Holy shit, man. Talk about GOAT status. That don't happen without taking personal inventory in yourself. And that definitely don't happen without having conviction and persistence. He knew why he was doing it and what got him to decide to do it. He was tired of getting his ass whooped by the Pistons every time he drove to the hole. And he wanted to be the greatest that ever did it. But he knew without getting past the Pistons, that wasn't going to happen. So he dug deep and did whatever it took to make that happen. Once he knew his why, that's when he mastered building perseverance muscle. Remembering your why is so crucial to building that muscle. You know, people often ask, how do they find their why? I'm going to give you 3 strategies to start before I close out. The first, identify the things you could do to empower others and make their lives better. Doing something that will benefit others more than yourself is an amazing experience, and it gives a sense of purpose. The second strategy for finding your why, think about the things that make you forget about the passing of time. You're fulfilling your purpose when you're doing something that energizes you rather than drains you. When you're living on your purpose, time just flies by. And the third and final strategy for finding your why, imagine you were told you only had 1 year left to live. What would you be doing? You know, most people don't like thinking about death, but death forces you to focus on the truly important things. How do you want people to remember you? What do you want your legacy to be? I'm Joe Rivera, and I invite you to step up and create your legacy today.